when you do get someone to say, hey, I'm willing to hire you for this, you need to make sure you've put in the work years prior to get to that point that it's professional.
What made you want to write your first screenplay?
Well, I'd always been writing. I think acting and writing are hand in hand. So I think you're always, from the moment you start acting, you start thinking, okay, well, how would I do this? How would I write this? So I always was writing. As far as my actual first screenplay, I'd say is maybe a little bit out of necessity, in the sense of I always wanted another option besides acting. And what happened on the business side of things is I was acting in a lot of TV movies and thrillers, and I very much thought the same thing. I think I could write this. I think I could do one of these. And in having that relationship with the producers, they said, yeah, if you can give us this particular kind of story at a professional level, then we have no problem hiring you and making it and doing it. And so that inspired me to write my first professional screenplay. And unfortunately, I had that access with many years of messing around with my own screenplays that didn't get too much traction on or interest, or looking back, they weren't up to par, and that's a big part of it as well. When you do get someone to say, hey, I'm willing to hire you for this, you need to make sure you've put in the work years prior to get to that point that it's professional. And fortunately, the company liked the screenplay and was able to make it.
Why do you say becoming a screenwriter is part passion and part survival?
Well, it was definitely something I was interested in and studied intensely, but then it also became something that gave me another way to work, another avenue to earn an income in show business. And I saw, I guess, things changing and my career being so up and down on the acting side of things that I thought, why don't I find this is something I'm already doing, let me fine tune this to the point where I can really do this. And of course, so many things can stem from that as an actor, creating your own projects, giving yourself work, and then of course, being the one with the idea.
Right, and so originally, was it always to write a role for yourself?
I think originally it was, I think most actors, when they start writing, the natural inclination is to, let's write something for myself. And I did that. And not only was the story probably not good enough, my skill set probably wasn't there yet. So nothing really ever materialized. But what I really learned from that was when you can give people, producers, networks, whatever level, what they need as a writer, then you're valuable. And a big part of that is maybe putting aside what you want to write at the moment. I mean, of course, we all want to do that as well. But being able to write for a need that a company wants to make a movie, wants to make a show, and you can deliver that, well, then you're the asset.
How has working with producers as an actor helped your writing career?
Well, I think as an actor, you've spent a lot of time on set. You've seen how things go. You've had a lot of discussions with directors and producers about scenes and story. And so I think then when you turn to writing, and you're able to kind of let the producers or the director know certain things and feed them certain things in your writing, or even in your second draft, third draft, give them more of what they want. And I think if you get some of that as an actor, I think it's very valuable.
What was the first screenplay that you sold? Can you take us through the process of what happened?
The first one we actually sold, I was writing with a partner at the time, and that was a thriller for Lifetime called Deadly Exchange. And that really came from an opportunity of working as an actor, both myself and my writing partner, with these producers and giving them what they needed, and essentially sat down and wrote out 20 pitches. They were interested in 2, We expanded those. They sent them to the other distributors and networks that say yes, and we were greenlit, and we were able to write our first one.
And did you do sort of a binge watching of all these Lifetime movies to get a sense of what they liked?
Yeah, definitely reviewed some, read many, had acted in many at the time, along with my writing partner. She was also an actress that had done many of them. So definitely had a feel for that. Yeah, it definitely helped.
But you also saw maybe what didn't work. And did that factor into what you wrote? I mean, they really like sort of the what they call women in peril. Maybe it's women in power now.
For sure. You definitely learn the, I guess, the rules, or, the formula as they call it. But I think it's more about, understanding the genre for sure, and understanding that it is going to most likely be a female protagonist, which I never really saw myself always writing for female leads, but I pretty much have every script. And you definitely learn what is desired by the network, by the distributors, and by the audience eventually. And those things change from, there was a saying they used to say to us, just wait 6 months and they'll want something different. And it was actually very true. 1 year they want very much in peril. 1 year they don't want that. 1 year they want something lighter. 1 year they want, nothing too dramatic. Next year, very dramatic. So yeah, it does change.
I enjoy going through their Twitter feed and just seeing even just how they package the sort of screenshot of the different things, and just the wording they use, and there's a definite flavor to it, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think those movies translate very well to all audiences, and that's why they've been successful. And something like just the artwork can convey a whole story, or it can convey a lot, and really reach people in all different languages.
Why are thrillers and romantic comedies a great way for writers to break into the business?
Well, it's a genre, especially the thrillers, that I think they're really looking for a lot of material. Many movies. Some of these companies are doing 100 movies a year, so because of that, they need a lot, and that opens things up to beginning writers. It also, there's a lot of work to compare it to. You can watch and see hundreds of these types of movies, and you can really pinpoint, okay, I can kind of give them that, touching on the need to give them what they want. You can learn that process. And same thing with rom-coms. I think there's the TV movie industry for rom-coms, again, it's a lot of volume. So when there's a lot of volume, there's more opportunity.
And are Christmas movies sort of their own entity, or do they fall into the sort of the rom-com genre?
I do think actually they are sort of their own entity, and I think they're referred to sort of as Christmas movies, or Christmas pitches, or Christmas ideas. Of course, they are rom-coms, but they are, as they've described to me, Christmas is still the main character. So you have everything that you have in a rom-com, but it must be centered around Christmas. And there's also going to be a much more of a different feeling, less drama, less bad things happening in a Christmas movie. Most likely, every movie's different, every company's different, but as a whole, it seems like keep it very Christmas.